Chapter 4. You're talking about Pugsley, right? Mom sounded amazed. Otherwise known as Mr. Pest? The dog you said who causes a lot of trouble? That nutty little pug puppy you've been telling us about? Do you think I'm crazy? Or are you crazy? Well, Lizzie was sitting in Aunt Amanda's office when she had gone to call her mom. She could see out the big window in the indoor play area. All the dogs were inside now, and Aunt Amanda was trying to calm them down. Their owners would be coming to take them home, and nobody went driving home with a hyped-up hound. Pugsley wasn't helping matters. He was still zooming around, trying to get everyone to play. Josie was trying to carry him away, but somehow he kept squirting out of her grip. Lizzie couldn't help giggling a little as she watched. Well, her mother asked over the phone, and what's so funny? Actually, Lizzie confessed, it's Pugsley. I'm watching him right now. You're right. He does cause a little bit of trouble sometimes, but he is so cute. You'll fall in love with him just like I have, I promise. Love is not the issue, dear, her mom said sternly. I happen to like her house, and I do not want our beautiful home destroyed. Ma, Pugsley ain't destructive, Lizzie said. At least she didn't think he was. She had never seen him pull out all the stuffing out of a toy the way Max was always doing, or scratch and howl at the door like Fiona the poodle did. He just likes to play. Play, that's all. He'll be great company for Buddy. And the Bean will love him. I just wish we had some time to talk this over as a family, Mom said. She sighed. But I understand. That if we don't tame today, he's going to the shelter tomorrow, right? That's right. Lizzie crossed her fingers and held her breath. And his owners had agreed to let us foster him. Aunt Amanda already called Ken for permission. He was very happy to hear that Pugsley will be going to a foster family. Yup. Mom sighed. Okay, I'm willing to give Pugsley a chance, but you'll have to promise. Lizzie jumped up from her seat. She was dancing around the office, grinning. She wasn't even listening anymore. She could have guessed exactly what Mom was saying about taking responsibility and all that. Of course Lizzie would take responsibility. Hadn't she and Charles been very responsible with all the other puppies they fostered? Sure, Mom, sure, she said. She danced herself back over to the phone. So, Aunt Amanda, will you drop me and Pugsley off in an hour or so? I can't wait for you to meet him. She hung up before her mom could say another word. Pugsley's not exactly on his best behavior during the ride home. Aunt Amanda had put him way in the back of the Bowser Mobile, the special van she used for picking up and dropping off all the dogs. The van was big and red, and its license plate read Pooches. Inside were cages for 8 dogs or more, if some were small. Right now, Aunt Amanda's pugs, Lionel and Jack, were sharing one of the cages, while her golden retriever Bowser took up another. Fiona the poodle was in a third. She was going to Camp Bowser for the weekend. Lizzie was jealous. She wished she was going to Camp Bowser, but maybe she and Pugsley would be going there sometimes very soon. Pugsley had a cage all to himself. Lizzie would have thought he'd be ready for a nap by then. After a long afternoon, running and playing, but no! Mr. Pest still wanted to play. He bounced from side to side in his cage, barking constantly, ruff, 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 and pawing at the other dogs' cages. Aunt Amanda and Lizzie tried their best, hoping his rowdy behavior would stop. At a stoplight, Aunt Amanda looked over at Lizzie and raised her eyebrows. Are you sure you're ready for this? Lizzie could barely hear over Pugsley barking. She just nodded. She was. She just wasn't sure about the rest of her family. She shouldn't have worried about Charles' dad and the Bean. They loved Pugsley. The minute they saw him, but when Aunt Amanda opened the back door of the Bean and unlatched his cage, Pugsley poked his little wrinkled face out and sneezed. Then as soon as Aunt Amanda put him down on the ground, he ran right over to Charles and Dad, who were standing in the front yard, and put his paws on Charles' knees. Pugsley, said Aunt Amanda. No jumping! But Charles was laughing. Nice to meet you, he said. He knelt down and Pugsley started licking his face all over while Charles just laughed and laughed and laughed. Dad cracked up too. He sat down next to Charles and let Pugsley lick his face. Well, aren't you such a cutie, Dad said, rubbing Pugsley's chin. I've heard such terrible things about you. They can't possibly be true. Pugsley wriggled his body and kept licking some more. Dad laughed as well. The Bean came toddling over. Puppy, 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 he said, holding out a hand. He laughed his funny, goofy laugh. Dogs seemed to love the Bean. Maybe that was because the Bean liked to pretend he was a dog. He took naps out of a dog bed. And lately his favorite toy was one of Bunny's hand-me-downs, a purple starfish that squeaked. Hold on, Lizzie said to the Bean. But make sure the Uppy is ready to meet you. She knew it was an always good idea to take things slowly. When it came to toddlers and dogs, but before she could do anything, the Bean was already getting his face licked, which made him laugh even louder. Well, it looks like they'll get along, Mom said coming outside. She was holding Buddy on a leash. When Pugsley saw Buddy, he wriggled out of Charles' arms and went flying over to say hello to the little brown puppy. Hi, 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 hi! I like you. Do you like me? Let's play! Buddy looked surprised for a moment, but then he started tugging on the leash as if he wanted to run around Pugsley. Let's take them out to the backyard and let them run there, Lizzie suggested. That sounds like a good idea, said Aunt Amanda, who was still standing near the band watching the whole scene. Could you stay for dinner? Dad asked. No, we're heading to the country, Aunt Amanda said. I should be on my way. Anyways, it looks like Pugsley's off to a very good start in his new home. New temporary home, Mom corrected her. But she was already smiling down at Pugsley. Lizzie felt sure that everything would work out just fine. Or would it?